Good
done.
heavens.
So
I just wore my jacket because I'm still locked in that mindset. Oh, it's January. Bring your jacket. No, I didn't need my jacket.
yeah, no.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, we're apologizing for that. But I feel bad, you know. It's like I was talking to the snow removal guy, and I talked to the house sitter and stuff, and then I feel guilty because you're sort of like, well, we have to go eat sushi,
It's
and
a
then
choice, right?
and then we're gonna go and we're gonna drive around Beverly Hills. You feel bad, you do, for a minute, and then it goes away. I'm very excited because the star of Arrow is going to be with us. Stephen Amell is going to be here, and he could not be any cuter. And he, of course, plays Oliver Queen on the show, and he's going to come and chat with us. He's been with us before, so he's a brave man to come back and see us. And so it's juicy. And apparently he loose-lipped it the other day and said that there could be a relationship in the offing for Oliver Queen. I really always hoped his middle name would be the. You know, it's like Oliver the Queen. I always thought that would be good, but I don't think it is. At least not in this version of it. In my mind, he is a little bit of a Bruce Wayne type. Wink, wink.
Katrina Law of Spartacus is going to be on the new season of Arrow. And I wonder if she's
good. We'll find out. You'll have to axe on him.
I spent Thanksgiving with her.
I love that.
House. She's
little
the
name
sister-in-law
dropper.
of
You're
my.
me today. Listen to you.
She's the sister-in-law of my friend Tracy.
I love
so
that.
So she's more like family.
I love that. That's good. So anyway, so Stephen Amell is going to be with us. We've got movie news, celebrity news, so many fun things to share with you. We were going to talk about the SAG Awards, but then we looked at the people who won, and we were just like, it's kind of like the Golden Globes, only it's just a different statue. And we're like, okay, we're done with that. So Doria said she's having awards fatigue already.
Ugh.
Oh, you're not me. I'm not there yet. I only went. Watch
We're
the
looking
Globulars.
at Times Square right now.
I know. Oh, Gonzo, we just saw lovely pictures of like 5 feet from you. Yeah, we're sorry.
I can see it from here too.
I know. I feel bad. I really do.
Wait, here's the best part: is that taking the bus. I took a little nap on the bus, and I wake up about 10 blocks or more south of where the Port Authority is. So Port Authority is 42nd and 8th. I woke up on 9th and 29th, and the bus I guess got routed that way because of traffic and the snow. And they let us out there. So I had to walk from all the way down there, trudging through the snow, which is a lot worse than they told us it would be at this point.
Yeah, no, that's bad. That's way bad. I hate that.
So I literally ran into studio straight from the street. So I'm soaking wet, I'm sweaty, and I'm out of breath.
So sweat from inside and from outside. So you're wet from both ends.
Water from the snow and sweat from the inside from trying to rush to get here on time.
Oh, heaven on a stick. Good for you. If you could find I know you're not a gay, but if there's someone who's into man smells, maybe you can make them happy this afternoon. Give them a little thrill.
We'll put
and ask for money. You know, ask for money. Ask for a good. Say, give me $100 and you can sniff it. You know, give them a good one, and they'll feel better, and you'll make get a little scratch, and it'll be good. So anyway, so Stephen Amell is going to be very excited about that movie news, celebrities, and fun things. So yes, Doria, did you enjoy MLK Day?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is what kills me. The idea that they have MLK Day sales, I don't think.
That's a new thing, I think.
I guess.
Relatively new.
It's it doesn't seem like the day you'd have sales based on, but I guess it's a day off, so people will go to the mall.
That products were 20% off.
More than 20. Really? Oh, a good mattress sale. You never know what you're getting. So anyway, yeah, it seemed a little bit strange to me that they would.
If you're not working, you should be spending the money.
You should be shopping. Well, that is kind of the way it goes. It should kind of be that. Although we didn't do a lot of shopping yesterday, but I have to say, I really did enjoy having the day off because we had tourist day because my friend Erica is in town and she was supposed to fly out today. And then yesterday, she just called the airline. They're like, "Oh no, you're not going anywhere tomorrow." The airline lady was like, "That's great. You want to go home? Want to try Wednesday?" And so apparently that she'll try tomorrow. And then I said, "Stay till Friday or Saturday." You know, I mean, come, we'll have fun. She's very easy to have around. She's not in my way at all. You know, so it's very fun. But yesterday we had tourist day, and she took us to that restaurant Katsuya. Well, they have like an upscale offshoot that I don't know the name of. It's like something by Katsuya.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went to that, and they had this like not quite a bento box, like a little bigger than a bento box, with.
Is it bigger than a bento box?
Is it bigger than a bento box? With spectacular sushi and sashimi on it. Like not just this is good. It was just like sitting there going like, oh my god, this is even better than the last thing. So we're doing that, and then they have the spicy tuna on crispy rice. Okay, so we sat scarfing that, and so that was heaven. Okay, so that's where our day started, and then we're like, okay, well, where should we go? So then we showed her, we went to the Hollywood sign.
Had she never been here?
No, she has, but she wanted to do. Let's do a tourist day. I said,
So where'd you
great.
go? Did you go up by the reservoir?
We went up Beechwood Canyon, and then there's some street that sounds like Deronda, because we were singing to Deronda on the way back. You go up Deronda.
We were.
Erica, well, she made it up. Erica started it, wasn't it? You'd think inside I thought of it, but I didn't go there because I thought it was too obvious for me to go there. But we did sing to Deronda on the way up and down. And so we got out and we took pictures of the sign. That was really fun. Then we drove around. We went to the Paramount Gates, and we took pictures there. And then we went to Hancock Park and pooked around and looked at all the and not pooked. See, you pook around. P-O-O-K. I don't know where that word came from. You pook around. So we pooked around there, and that was fun. We showed her some houses of people we know. All our friends who have really great houses. We were like, no, this is where they live. It's like, should we go in? No, don't. We can't ask to pee there. That's great. They don't know we're coming. So we wandered around Hancock Park, and then we grabbed a nice muffin. We went to Bricks and Scones. You ever go to Bricks and Scones in Larchmont Village?
No.
Nice. Sat there, had a nice time. All those people.
This is your tourist day?
This is our tourist day. Then we went why, what else would you do? Why are you looking at me with a puss? Why would that not be a fun tourist day? You eat you look at cute houses, you go to the Hollywood sign, you see the Paramount Gate, you stop for baked goods. So far, let's start with sushi. It's so far perfect. Then we drove over to Rodeo Drive, and we showed her all the stores on Rodeo Drive, which was very fun. Then we drove over and showed her. We went to the Spelling Mansion from the outside. We didn't knock on the door and said, "Can we come in?" Candy's been on the show 3 times. Can I come in? We didn't do that. So, but we looked at that. We showed her the Playboy Mansion. So that was very fun. I've been there twice. I didn't knock on the door there either. And said, "Could I come in?" "Who is you?" "That's Frank." "Can I come in?" "No." So we did that, and then we drove all around Beverly Hills, and then we pooked around in I don't know if it was Brentwood or whatever it was. We looked at some groovy houses there, and then we came over the canyon, and it was fun. And so
Laurel?
No, the other one. Keep going. Go further west.
Coldwater.
Further west.
Benedict?
One more. Right after Bel Air. Beverly Glen.
Beverly Glen.
We went over Beverly Glen. So let's go over Beverly Glen. Ooh,
this little mall right at the top.
I know. I didn't go, though. I heard it's supposed to be nice. So we pooked around there, and that was very fun. And then we drove over the hill, and then we got back and ran and walked the dog. Threw on, changed for day into evening, boom, changed our clothes a little bit to look nice. And we went over to Pasadena, and we went to the Langham. So pretty far. You had the look of you drove that far. Then we drove to the Langham in Pasadena, and we had dinner. And Patina Miller sang because it was a TCA event for PBS because she's doing a live from Lincoln Center in March. So Patina Miller, who won the Tony for Pippin, and maybe for Sister Act too, I don't know. Anyway, but I don't think she won for Sister Act. But she's just delightful and adorable. And the only thing that would have made it better was if, when I got to Pasadena, Keith Price was waiting for me because he loves Patina Miller. And I tweeted him, I said, if only Keith were here, it would be perfect because he loves Patina Miller. So she was lovely. And guess what? This is the best thing. This is the best part of the whole, well, other than the sushi was the best thing of the whole day. And then the muffin. And then being with friends. But it was eat, friends. The best thing was, we get to the buffet line because it was a TV Critics Association event.
And it ends there. That's the end.
No, it wasn't the buffet line. No, because the food was just all right. It was hotel food. And it was fun. It was fun, lovely, but it was not any great shakes. So anyway, but over the chafing dish, I look up. It's Leslie Uggams. Leslie frickin' Uggams across a chafing dish. I looked at her, I said, I never thought I'd say this across a chafing dish. I said, but I've loved you for as long as I can remember, and I still do, and I think you're the best, and I'm so excited that you're standing there. And she smiled and said hello, and it was very cute. And then I tweeted, and I said I was still dizzy for Kizzy, because she was Kizzy in Roots. I love her. I think she spit in Sandy Duncan's drink, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't seen Roots since I was a little kid, but I think that I said, poo, right in Sandy Duncan's drink. Which I'm sure other people would want to do. Valerie Harper might want to do that, but I don't think she would. But yeah, no, because Sandy Duncan was a mean slave owner, and Kizzy was Kunta Kinte's daughter. So so she poo right in there. But it was freaking Leslie Uggams, and she's gorgeous. She's still gorgeous. Okay, So it was cool. So I was very excited about that. And then Patina Miller was wonderful. And she sang, I'm fabulous, baby. Oh, it was so good. Oh, it made me so happy. So it was a very great touristy day. And my friend Erica had a wonderful time, even though she has a boot on, because she broke her ankle on going home from my house. She got off the bus in Port Authority, which Gonzo knows what the hell that's like every morning. So do I, but he knows it more than I do. You get off. There was a tile that was just sort of like, oh, well, we don't fix these tiles. We don't care. And she stepped on the tile, and it twisted and broke, and that was it. And so it was a broken ankle. So she's running around in a stormtrooper boot.
Does she now own the Port Authority?
No, but she's got we tried to talk her into getting a lawyer. I said, you get a lawyer. So you have to go to 8 weeks of physical therapy? I said, even if you don't make money on this, at least don't lose money because of their error, and you don't have to, the co-pays and all that other stuff. You get enough money back I hope it works. Someone we know got 25 G's for something like that. Be nice. I mean, I don't want to break my ankle to get 25 G's, but if you're going to break an ankle, it'd be nice if a little something would come your way. No, if I break an ankle, I want more than that. I want hundreds of thousands of dollars. I want to break an ankle because Donald Trump tripped me. That would be good. I'd like someone I could get money out of. It would be good. I don't want just I hurt myself on a tile. But anyway,
you could get punitive damages because if he tripped you.
I know.
Meaning you're walking along, la la la, and he sticks out his foot and trips you intentionally and maliciously.
He called me Tutti Frutti and then put a leg out. Wouldn't that be terrible?
Yeah.
Because he'd heard what I said about his hair being backwards.
He's such a moron.
I know, but let's not go there. Let's not talk about it. I just brought him up for the sake of someone who had money. Just sort of kind of go there.
My tourist day, when I take friends around L.A., I take them up by the Hollywood Reservoir because it's really beautiful up there. And there are a couple of neat little attractions along the way, and you get an amazing view. You're right below the Hollywood sign. There, like, buses of tourists go up there now. And if I lived in that neighborhood, I would scream. But I don't, so it's just lovely. And but then I take them to all the scandals and dead people locations.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Jim showed me the street that B. Arthur lived on. That was fun. We pointed at that. We had a little B. Arthur moment. So he knows stuff like that. He's been to every Golden Girls house, so he knows where everybody lives. So it's like, so we can get once in a while, like, oh, we're in so and so's neighborhood. Oh, good. So that's a fun thing. But yeah, no, it was really great. It was really and truly lovely. So, and I have to say, what's making me mad?
And is she gone now?
So, no, she's still because of the snow. She couldn't go. She was supposed to leave today. And now she's not leaving till tomorrow. We told her, we're like, pick Saturday. Stay for Saturday. Stay till Saturday. But we don't know if it's going to happen. So we'll have to, I told her, I said, don't rush home. She may have a shoot on Thursday or Friday. And I was just like, don't go home yet. It's like, but if she has a shoot on Friday, she has to go home. But otherwise, she could stay. I was like, stay till Saturday. And then she said, but it'll cost me money. And I said, well, I told you to make it for later. And I said, I'll give you $10 toward whatever the change fee is. And Jim said he's in for $10 too. So that's good. So she's whatever it is. She's $20.
She's worth $20 to you.
No, 10 each. Well, 10 each. She's worth 10. I think I would definitely do. It's like extra. Stay just a little bit more. I'll give you $10. It's what you got. It's just it's an honorarium.
Does she have fun? Is she happy?
Oh, she's having a great time.
While you made the move.
Yeah. Oh no, she likes it here. No, she loves it. She loves LA. No, she's really fun. Well, she came out because she had a big photo shoot. She works for a client out here, and so she had a big photo shoot, and so she stayed.
Trip.
So it was good. So I don't know how that works, but it was like come and stay with us and we'll have fun. And she was like, well, I could go to a hotel, and I was like, I don't want you to go to a hotel. I was like, I want you to stay here. So we've had a lovely time, and the dog likes her. That's the important. Gabby is crazy about it. Gabby's like, now that she's there, she doesn't even she'll sleep. She'd rather sleep with her. It's like, oh great. Fine. Like her better. I don't care. I don't need you. It's fine. Just because I pay for the dog food doesn't mean anything. So, but she's very cute. All right, when we return to the Frank Show, we've got TV news, we've got celebrity news, we've got so many things to share with you. And of course, we'll take your calls at 866-305-6887 here on the Frank Show on Sirius XM OutQ. Hey,
and I'm your cousin Brucey. I'm inviting you to check out 60s on 6, which presents what I think is the greatest decade of rock and roll, the 60s. There's only one way to select music, cousins. It's not by a machine. It's by the human heart and the soul. It's fueled by human beings. And that's why it reflects the decade so well. 60s on 6. You're going to hear something very special. And me, your cousin Brucey. That's 60s on 6 and on the Sirius XM app.
Buying a used car for the first time can be scary. Just where do you begin? Larry Gamache from Carfax has some advice to get you going.
To avoid hidden problems, always take a test drive and get any used car inspected by a mechanic before you buy. Nobody knows everything, but a Carfax report is a great place to start.
Another tip, shop at Carfax Advantage dealers. Say, show me the Carfax to get free Carfax reports to help you buy with more confidence.
Truck driving's a tough business. Making every decision on your own. Ones only we can make. Like choosing the right truck insurance. Who can you talk with? OOIDA. Friendly people who understand independent owner-operators. OOIDA can help you build coverage that fits your needs. With easy monthly payments and no hidden fees. Call 1-800-444-5791 to talk with an OOIDA truck insurance specialist.
OOIDA. Nobody knows trucking better.
You've heard of John Elway, so you probably know that he's a Hall of Fame NFL quarterback and highly respected businessman. But did you know that you can buy a car or truck direct from John Elway with just one click to elwaydirect.com? At elwaydirect.com, there are over 2,000 new and used vehicles, including hundreds of the new 2014 Ram 1500 from John Elway Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, and every one of them comes with the Elway promise for your peace of mind.
Hi, I'm John Elway. Avoid all the hassles and deal directly with my team at elwaydirect.com.
Because sequins are always correct.
That's the second biggest zipper I ever saw.
It's the backless glamour of the Frank DeCARO Show. Live from New York and Los Angeles.
No telling what's liable to come out of that thing.
The perfect way to begin our show with what he just said. The biggest zipper ever. Wait till you hear this story. This is a good one, okay? I love when the day begins with a Schwanstucker story. I really do. I like it.
It's not supposed to begin with...
It's right here. It's right here at the top of the thing. We can't start with a Schwanstucker story? I like a good Schwanstucker story.
Sure,
Wait, it's right at the top.
Okay, then just ignore the rundown then.
Well, I try to, usually. Oh, there we go. Yes, we see.
It's like third hour. By third hour, we're just going to be sitting and glaring at each other because you're going to
exhausted
all the stories.
Yeah. I got to go with this one, though. I can't help it. But I'll go back to as soon as I'm done straying from the run of show, I'll go back to it. Okay?
I'm just going to stop getting up at the crack of dawn to...
No, you have to come and do this. It's fun. What else will we do? If we're not doing the show, what will we do? When something else comes along and somebody says, oh, boy, you're wonderful on that. It's the new neighbor on, Big Bang Theory. You go, all right, yeah, it's cute. Love you on there. I know.
No, I'm going to get up just in time to come in and...
No, that's my gig. You're not allowed to do that. Now cut that out. I was here 25 off, too. I didn't like them apples.
You what?
I was here 25 minutes to 8. Isn't that good?
Bully for you.
I know. Bully for me is all right. Don't say bully. That people don't like bullies anymore. So, Doria, okay. So, Producers Guild Awards happened this weekend. And so there was a thing going on. Ben Affleck, okay, was a presenter. But apparently he became the talk of the event because the producer, the TV producer, Chuck Lorre, the guy behind Big Bang and 2.5 Men and stuff, he won the Norman Lear Achievement Award in television, okay? Which is a lovely thing to have. If you're going to get an award, a Norman Lear Achievement Award, I would say would be a fun thing from the Producers Guild Award. So anyway, so he got up, and during his speech, he said that he stood next to Ben Affleck at the urinals at the Golden Globes, and he said, yes, I peaked, and yes, Comic-Con, he can play Batman, okay? Oh.
Is that an important thing for Batman?
Yeah, it's good. You want a superhero with a little ee? You want a superhero with a big one? You want a ba-boom? You don't want a ee. You know, ee is real life. Ba-boom is Batman. Anyway, so but he later on, apparently, they referenced a Ben Affleck chubby was mentioned later on. apparently then when Ben Affleck got on stage, they played the Batman theme song. Now I don't know if that would be the 60s one. That would be good if they played that one. I guess the best of the theme songs. But so anyway, and it was pretty funny. And so basically, he said, I was at the bar briefly and I came back to my seat and somebody said, there was a guy up on stage who said you have a big dick. And he said, I was like, isn't that always how it goes? The one time it happens and I miss it. So anyway, there are so many worse things someone could get on stage and say about you. They can say you are a big dick. That would be, you don't want that. You don't want someone to say, oh my God, what a dick you are, But it was very cute. And of course, Ben Affleck, who I think is adorable and smart and funny, he said, thank you very much. Whoever you are, God bless you. I'm often confused with Matt Damon, but rarely with Michael Fassbender. So he went on from there. So anyway, because Michael Fassbender, well, every boy out there knows this. All the gay fellas know this. Michael Fassbender is the person that that George Clooney once said, do you play golf without clubs? Basically, you just stand there and whack with your schwanz. That's basically, he's a big one. So, and we all have pictures. I've tweeted. I don't usually tweet naked pictures, but I tweeted a picture when there was him. He was taking a leak in the woods while I was making a thing. And it was like, he took out the python of love. And it was like, somebody shot a picture of it. And I was like, we're tweeting this one. Okay, sorry, people. If you're at work, but I'm tweeting the Fassbender Schwantz. Okay. So it almost could have, it's not quite a zip code because that makes it seem fat. I don't mean that. But it really could, it's big, is all I can say. It's a limousine where most of us are. So look at it gets good gas mileage, but his is a limousine. So anyway, but it's a big one. So anyway, but I think that's very funny. But Ben Affleck then went on to present the awards to the producers of 12 Years a Slave and Gravity, which basically they're saying now those are the two movies to watch. So it was like American Hustle was all set to win, right? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Now they're saying it's either 12 Years a Slave or Gravity. So we'll see where it goes with the Oscars. But as of this weekend, those are the two favorites for Best Picture. So, is there anything with the Producers Guild Awards about any correlation between what takes the Oscar? I don't really know about that. I haven't really heard if there's any. There's certain things where they say, if you get the Directors Guild Award, you're a shoo-in to get the Directors Oscar and that sort of thing. It used to be.
I think more for Best Picture, which is what. I think more people vote for that, whereas don't they for the Oscars? Don't you vote for certain
in your category? Yeah, I don't really
so.
remember how it works. But anyway, well, good for Ben Affleck getting a nice thumbs up from Chuck Lorre during the thing. I don't know if I would peek if I were standing next to a celebrity, but I don't think I would go on. I don't think I would talk about it. Would you? I wouldn't. I'm going to talk about it on here. I wouldn't talk about it at a podium while I was accepting an award.
You wouldn't talk about.
No, I would talk about. Who am I kidding?
Listening.
No, I would. No, yeah, that's true. No, I think I'm going to take that all back. I really would talk about it, especially if it was like, oh my God. I think if it were a case of that. But I definitely would look. Just why? Why I would look, Doria? Because you are irresistibly drawn to looking. Yeah, I was going to say, exactly. I always do look. Why would I not look when it's a celebrity? Of course I would look. So, look. And you're the correct line is, oh, how nice your mother made you. That is the right thing you say.
This is a giant cock.
Or that. Yeah, that's the other thing you say. Oh, how nice your mother made you. Or this is a giant cock. Those are your two things that are the right etiquette. Emily Post suggests that that's who it should be. You should say, Dear Emily, it's Phyllis. I have a question. If I'm standing next to a celebrity of the Oscar-winning, I know he didn't win for Best Director. He wasn't even nominated, and it was unfair. And I know he went for writing and not for acting.
Now you're just babbling, Frank.
I'm just saying. I'm writing to Emily Post. I'm dictating. Start typing. I'm dictating this to Emily Post. What's the right thing to do when I'm standing at the urinal next to Ben? Do I look and peek? Is it a furtive glance? Or do I lean on the little divider and put my hands on my chin, under my chin and go, hi, Ben, ooh, look how nice your mother made you. Or this is a giant cock. Is that, Jesus. What is or say, Jesus, this is a giant cock. That works too. What do you say at that situation? Signed, perplexed in the men's room. Okay, and then we'll see what Emily writes back.
I think she would say you're supposed to respect their privacy and not look.
Not for celebrities. You're supposed to always look. Besides, everybody look. Especially if he stands way,
Gonzo, do you look?
No, Gonzo's
No.
straight boy.
You said everybody looks.
Well, Chuck Lorre's straight too, and he looked. Gonzo, apparently Chuck Lorre says it's okay for straight guys to look. So give it a
eyes
give
forward.
It a peek.
Don't look at me. Don't talk to me.
me.
Handle your business and wash your hands and get out.
I guess. Greg and I used to cross streams. We had such a nice time with it.
Well, he tries to do that with everybody. Don't feel bad.
Oh, all right. No, because we would play. We would say, "Who wants to play Bellagio?" That would be the thing. We'd do the fountains outside Bellagio.
I was going to say, which Ghostbuster are you?
No.
Crossing streams.
No, we'd like to do the singular sensation number from outside the Bellagio. One singular sensation, and then you do it. So Greg and I would have a nice time with that. Not anymore. He's has a kid now. He can't be playing Bellagio with me in the bathroom.
He's a father.
He's a father. I know. Good for him. Oh, there
Today
we go.
was the baby's due date.
Oh, so the baby showed up when it felt like it.
The baby showed up early, and if the baby had shown up today, they would have been snowed in.
Oh my God!
Oh God, you're going to be born in the car.
I'm so glad everything worked out. She's so cute. I sent her hats. I found these 2 little hats, and apparently they're too big for her already. But I hope she gets a little bit of grow, Serafina, grow, so we can fit in those hats. They're really cute. One's a little monkey with ears sticking out, and one is striped with a flower. It's cute. Little knit little caps and stuff. The only thing is with baby stuff, if it doesn't fit, by the time that does fit, it could be the wrong season. It's very tricky with them. They grow so fast, With us, you're sort of like, oh, I'll lose weight, I'll be in it. And it's fine. Or I'll gain weight, it'll fit. It's one way or t'other. But with little kids, you got to aim it all right. Or do what I do, ignore them. That's usually good. Never get children anything. They're annoying. They get enough stuff from everybody else. So I do that with one relative. I'm not going to talk to you. You're bugging me. So anyway, did you watch any of the award shows? You're done, right? You didn't watch because wasn't Producers Guild. I don't know if that was televised. It must come in on someone's, like on your toaster or something if it's not on regular TV. But the SAG Awards were
no, I just watched Golden Globes.
Yeah, SAG
and
Awards
I'm done
they did
until the Oscars.
Yeah.
I don't know why we have all these award shows.
Nice. Actors need to feel good. Actors are fragile people, and they need to feel good about themselves. And they need to think what they're doing is important. And so have a trophy, and you do, and they make a lot of money for people. That's the thing; they make a lot of money for the bean counters. So you have to sort of be nice to them and say, "Oh, here, have an award, have money. Now make us 100 times more than we gave you." Okay, perfect. And then you do, and then there's that. So, I got a check for Cougar Town, by the way. Again, $21.41. Isn't that good? I'll take it. It's under $5. It's $21 I didn't have before the other day. Oh boy, oh boy.
That's more than you've earned from any of your books.
That's true. Good. No, but I finally got a residual check. Did I tell you? A royalty check. $200. $226. 38 cents. Okay. Heaven. Okay. The one before was for $1.47. That wasn't so good. But the second one, $200. I'll take it. So, and people could buy the book. It's it's good for Oscar season. It's the best hostess present you can bring to an Oscar party. The Dead Celebrity Cookbook. I'm telling you, get it now. Amazon, Heaven. Put $1 in Daddy's pocket. I'm telling you, do it. Sadly, it really is like $1. That's the problem. Book companies like, oh look, we made a fortune. Oh good. How much you get? $1.
$1 per book?
About $1 a book, I think, when you write a book. So
that means you only sold 200 books?
No, I sold 200 over my advance. No, it's over 10,000 copies now. I'm excited. Which is not big numbers, but it's better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. I'll take 10,000 copies. I didn't buy. That sounds like I bought all 10,000. I didn't buy my own book, but no, yeah, it's sold. It's doing well. I don't know if it's 10 or 15. It's in there somewhere, so it's doing all right. Can't complain. Would I trade it all for the Ben Affleck Big Dick speech? Probably. Yes, I think I would, but still.
What do you mean?
Someone would look over at a urinal and not point and laugh instead and go, woof. I think I would trade a book for that. I would.
A book?
I would trade the royalties from the Dead Celebrity Cookbook so far, at least so far.
You would
for
trade
a big Schwanstucker. Yeah, I would trade. No, I would trade.
So why don't you just find a doctor who will
I don't want to. No, I want to have. I want
extension
magic. I don't want an extension. Magic.
$200.
I don't want a $200 worth of extension. What would that? That would look like
I'm
rope
sure
burn.
you
That wouldn't
could
be anything.
find somebody who maybe took some medical school classes.
If
and
Michael
would take
Fassbender wants to do an
$200.
exchange, I'll do it. Okay, if I get to take his off, put them in little switchies, then we'll do it. You know, I'll buy new pants. It'll be fine. It'll be good. You can have all the rights to the Dead Celebrity Cookbook, all the royalties from that, and I get your penis. I think that seems fair. I would definitely do that. So, because that's the only thing is, it's bad if it's not true. If they spread around that it's big, and then you go on a date and then you get home and you're just like, that's it, you know. My friend Frank Meyer, God rest his soul, he used to always do a joke about where guys would say, "Ooh, suck that big dick," and he'd say, "Are we expecting someone else?" So, I always thought that was a good joke. Are we expecting someone? What's going on? It's not so good. Anyway, that's the way it goes. Are you just horrified already? You just gonna sit there eating your muffin and just quiet. So, did you have a good weekend? How was it? Now this was a football weekend, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Did you do anything football related?
Yes, I watched both conference playoff games on Sunday.
And the Seahawks won, didn't they?
Yes, I did.
I read that on the interweb.
I was happy with both games.
Wait, so the Patriots are...
Patriots?
They've gone to the 2 weeks on the beach at El Saco del Poco?
Whining home.
Oh,
yay.
they are
indeed.
just loathed, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Except by people in Boston, right? I mean, the New England Patriots, they like them there.
The bandwagon people who decided they love them. Because remember, I used to live in Boston. Yeah. Nobody liked the Patriots.
Really? Oh, now here's my question. What do the Miami Dolphins do now?
Love their team. Well, now they're looking for a general manager. Real football fans love their team even when they're dreadful.
Right.
That's the whole thing. You can't just jump on board any team that's doing well. What the hell's the point of that? You have to pick a side and stick with it and follow it.
Thick and thin.
Yes. And that's what bothers me about the Pats fans. They're a bunch of Johnny-come-latelys. But the Dolphins are looking for a general manager who will be in charge of the NFL draft for them.
So I have a stupid question. What if you're that good and say you're a Miami Dolphin, okay? Yes. You play for the Miami Dolphins. Mm-hmm. How much time of the year do you work?
They work, meaning they are working out year round.
With each other, or do you just go, I'll go to the gym today, and then I'll come home, watch Price is Right? You know, is that what your day is like?
They have to be in amazing shape, Frank. It's not just, I'll go to the gym. They have all kinds of special trainers and.
What about the really fat guys that they just stand there and then they get bunked into and
they work out too.
So they just eat pork chops? I mean, what do they do they say, I gotta stay big? I mean,
I don't know what their workout is comprised
chicken
of,
and waffles. You never know.
But they work out too, because it's exhausting out there. They've got to have stamina.
It's exhausting walking to the Hollywood sign. It's exhausting getting out of bed. It's exhausting doing anything. But no, I just wonder, is it like with an actor where it's sort of like you work for 3 months, then you're off for 3, and then you're like, well, I got to go on location for 16 days, and then you go and you come back and you're like, we're doing nothing.
No.
No, it's not like that. They have to keep busy.
Yeah.
Do they do ribbon cuttings during the time off?
Yeah, they all work. A lot of them, not all of them, of course, but a lot of them have all kinds of charitable organizations and things like that. There's a whole PR side of it as well, both individually and through their teams and through the NFL.
They do altruistic crap, really?
Yeah.
Oh, sounds horrible. Mm-hmm. So it's like you have to go get pummeled for 17 weeks, right? Pummeled for 17 weeks. And then do the math.
If you're lucky, more.
Was it 35, right? Isn't that the other 45? Yeah, 30. And then 35 weeks you have to go and do. You have to go kiss handicapped children and things like that.
You don't have to kiss them, Frank. I don't think they want football players kissing strange
Sure, they
children.
do. They read stories, and you have to read stories to sick kids and stuff.
Yeah, and play games with them.
Ooh, terrible. Mm. Oh, that sounds awful. Do telethons and things. Mm-hmm. Oh, sounds horrible. Altruism for 35 weeks a year and 17 weeks of getting pummeled. That's a rough. No wonder you like that.
For some of them, and some of them it's, they
Some of them
get
have
the
to go.
bars.
I got to go bang Giselle Bundchen. I'm all right. It's fine. But nah, I can go bang her. It's okay. Are you still mad at Tom Brady or no?
Oh, he's gone
Is he still
home. I
whiny
don't
and
have to think about him
till
next season.
So, but are you all gung ho for Super Bowl party? Do you know where you're going to spend yours or no?
I haven't decided.
Okay, weighing offers. Okay, good. So, but there's it's a fun thing, I guess. I'm just glad I'm not in New Jersey for it. Although someone said, you know how much we could have rented out our house for since we're about 15 minutes from the Meadowlands? You know, they're like, do you know how much you could have rented out your house for? And I was like, oh, I never thought about that. But then I thought, do I really? I don't want people living in my house. It's like, I'll go. Sorry, house sitter, you have to move out because I have to get a gun for the house sitter and say, watch them like hawks. Okay, if they go in the living room, shoot to kill. That's what I do. Not go in my living room. My living room is off limits, except when I'm there. TV room is fine.
What are they going to do to the living room?
Sit on my furniture. I don't want anyone on my furniture. It's Marimekko fabric, and some of the background is white. You're not sitting on it with your dirty stank ass. It's like, do not sit on my furniture. It's very cute. I took last time when I was home, right before I left, I got in there with those rolly brushes with the masking tape. I got in there. I masking taped those chairs. Gorgeous. I made nice. When we returned to the Frank Show, the very handsome, the very talented, the very popular Stephen Amell is going to be with us talking about Arrow. I can't wait. When we return, we'll talk to him here on Sirius XM OutQ.
From the Rainbow Flag Room to the Hollywood Fruit Bowl, it's the Frank DeCARO Show, live from New York City and L.A. on OutQ.
Yes, I always say when someone returns to our show for a second appearance, they're incredibly brave. And when you play a superhero, you're pretty darn brave. And our next guest plays Oliver Queen, of course, on Arrow. And Stephen, now I want to make sure I get it right. Stephen Amell.
Amell. Yeah.
I thought I'd get it wrong. I thought it would be better to get it wrong the first time out.
Like a Mel Gibson film. You know what I mean?
Okay. But much better. And we like him more. I mean, you more than him.
I used to be able to say that. Now you can't say it anymore. You say a Mel Brooks film or something like that.
Okay, yeah, Stephen Amell Brooks film. All right, we'll go with that. I'm so glad you're back.
Thank you for having me back.
Last time you were here, we were like, "Oh, I hope people like Arrow," and now they like Arrow. And
you come out with a show. You hope that people will like it, but you just cross your fingers and hope for the best, and it's gone really well so far.
And we're very excited that it has. But how is it that one utterance, one slip of the tongue, you say, they're like, oh, could there be a love interest? Well, that coming right up, I think, was the words you used during a fan chat. And of course, then the Twitterverse goes nuts, and then the bloggers go crazy, and so what is that part of it like? Where anything you say, the fans are hanging on, for a sliver of information.
Well, it gets me in a little bit of trouble sometimes because I'm I'm an outgoing person, and I like chatting and I like interacting with the fans. I remember reading when I said that the week was going to fly by before an episode, and all of a sudden I saw this whole discussion chain about Superman appearing on the show, and I'm like, what the hell are you guys talking about? And I realized that it was just people, looking into the way that I said something too much. It's exciting. Look, having a fan base is 99% positive, and sometimes things go awry, but it's all worth it.
Well, I was reading. It was the other day that they said about love interest, and you said coming right up, and then everyone. What's the story with that?
That there's a love interest coming right up. No, there's something on the way for Oliver. We're going to examine it, I think, in the next 2 or 3 episodes, but I don't think that it's what people are expecting.
Cool. Well, how far into Arrow did you know we're onto something here?
Oh man, I felt it during the pilot. I really did. But then, once you get into production, I remember being worried because you have so long to shoot the pilot, and then you come in for the second episode and you have half that amount of time. And But then I realized that was going to force us to do things much more practically. And if we were going to put someone on a moving truck, that we're just going to actually have to put them on a moving truck. And I think that lends itself well to our show. And so I'd say, like, right off the hop, right into the second episode. But then once you get directors coming back and you start to see the show grow, that was also really exciting.
And when do you feel tremendous responsibility playing a character that is so beloved as Oliver Queen / Green Arrow is?
I feel tremendous responsibility, but it's not necessarily about honoring the character. I don't write the show, but the people that do have a lot invested in the character. So I trust them to service him well. My responsibility falls more with wanting to do a good job for the crew that works on the show, the actors that work on the show. When we have a guest star that comes on the show, like, for example, when Katie Lotz came on this year, I feel like it's my responsibility to make sure that she is comfortable, to make sure that she gets to meet everybody so that she can hit the ground running. Because once you're kind of a well-oiled machine, and we're in our second season now, we're moving more in that direction, there's a lot of pressure when a guest star comes in. So that's where my responsibility is.
Is it? We're talking to Stephen Amell, who plays Oliver Queen, of course, on Arrow on CW, which is a huge hit, and people are so giddy over it. And is it fun when other superheroes get sort of teased out and introduced, and as the Flash was this season?
Yeah, I mean, the people that make our shows, and they'll be the first to admit this, those guys are geeks, and they're huge comic book fans. And when Oliver Queen was meeting Barry Allen for the first time, you couldn't get a seat at Video Village. It was so packed with people that wanted to see it, and I'm sure that will be the case moving forward. One of the nice things about having had the success so far that we've had is DC Comics and Warner Brothers. They are giving us a lot of license to bring in a lot of those big characters from the comic book world, and as long as we keep treating them well, I think they'll keep letting us do it.
I was going to say that treating them well is the part. I mean, it's really the key to the whole thing, because it's the affection and the integrity that one has to have handling these properties now, because the fanboys will turn on you if you do something they don't like. That you'll hear about it in about a second.
Yeah, a second is exactly right. You hear about it right away. No, but I think we've done a pretty good job so far. I mean, everything, even if. It doesn't matter who comes onto the show. Everybody is, operating through the universe that we're setting up. So, as long as we color that character the same way, I think the fanboys and girls will enjoy it.
When you're playing a superhero, as you are, Stephen Amell, do you have do you think that the next time you eat a cupcake is like 2017? I mean, like, when do you, how much of a workout, how much of a regimen do you have to be on when you're playing a superhero?
I follow a pretty strict diet. During the first season, I tended to go to extremes a little bit of enjoying myself on the weekend in terms of eating, and then going on this crazy diet when we got back filming. And I've sort of tried to avoid those extremes this year and just relax and enjoy myself. I work so much. I think as long as you're happy, the diet and the body will stay where they're supposed to be. Like, for example, I just enjoyed a corned beef sandwich from the deli downstairs, and it was excellent.
All right, so you're good for 20. That's it for eating for 2014. No.
Yeah, no, that's it. I'm not gonna. No, I won't eat again until February.
I think it'll still with knowing corned beef, it'll be with you.
Right.
That amount of time, it'll definitely be there. How far into the season are we now? Like, and in terms of production and also in viewing.
We just finished our 10th episode on air, and we are now filming episode 16.
How many are you doing this season?
23.
Oh, 20. So it's not any kind of smaller number of episodes, even though.
No, it's 20. It's 23. I mean, last year was supposed to be 22, and it ended up being 23. So I'm pretty sure that it's 23 this year. But my God, you never know.
Well, with these kind of things, you really are making a movie every week, right? I mean, it's great. The schedule is nutty.
We are, and we're on television, but we don't consider ourselves the television version of these characters. We're trying to be the definitive version of these characters, and we're starting to aim really, really high, no pun intended, with these episodes. And some of the stuff that we have coming up, episode 15 especially. Episode 15 is a movie. Like it looks like a movie, and you can't turn back. It's not like we can make 16 smaller. We have to keep ramping it up.
And you must know I assume when you're reading the script, when you know when when the fans are going to go absolutely out of their minds when something happens, or in plot wise or a moment or whatever.
Yeah, I'm counting on some. There's some of the moments that are coming up just off the top of my head, and this is going to seem vague, but it'll make sense after the fact. The end of episode 11 is a stand-up and cheer moment. There are huge bombshells being dropped all over episode 12, and episode 13, comic book fans are going to lose their minds over, and then 14 might be the best cliffhanger that we've ever had, and then of course 15. 15's a movie. It's crazy. I'm so looking forward to people seeing these this next stretch of episodes.
How has life changed since the success of Arrow for you?
It hasn't changed that much, actually. It's just a lot busier. But a lot has changed for me. When I got the show, I was single and probably stupid, and now I'm married, and my wife and I just had a daughter, and I'm probably just a little smarter, just a little wiser.
That's wonderful. What did you name your daughter?
Mavi.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, she's just 3 months and a bit, and I'm actually away from her for 9 days because she's in Los Angeles with my wife, and I'm busy working and promoting and all that stuff. So I can't wait to see her again. I'm sure that there will be huge differences just in that 9-day stretch.
That's great. Now, I know we're running out of time, but I'm always trying to. What's the strangest, funniest, or most memorable Comic-Con kind of moment you've had since playing Green Arrow?
It's when people are dressed up like you, and not just dressed up like you, but have created basically a virtually identical costume. I mean, right down to the little markings on the bow. And, I remember when I got my mask at the end of episode 9, everybody really wanted a picture of it because there were a couple of conventions coming up and people needed to add it to their cosplay. So, I mean, it's like, it's crazy. I get questions all the time, what's the mask made out of? I'm trying to make a new one. And it's pretty amazing when that stuff happens.
That's great. Well, continued success to you, and congratulations on your new addition to your family.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for coming to see us again. And tell people when they should tune in on the CW to watch the next episode of Arrow.
You can tune in to the CW Wednesdays at 8, 7 Central. I know that all of our episodes are on iTunes, and the first season is on Netflix. So, and the CW...
And on DVD.
And on DVD.
Blu-ray and everywhere. And
Blu-ray.
Everywhere you want to be.
The CW app. Just don't download it illegally.
Yeah, don't do that. You wouldn't
that.
do that to Oliver Queen, and don't do it to Stephen Amell either. Thanks for coming to see us, and continued success.
Thank you very much.
When we return to the Frank Show, more fun here on Sirius XM OutQ.
Years ago, championships were decided on the frozen turf of NFL stadiums.
This week, SiriusXM looks back on past cold weather championship games.
We now return to the Frank DeCARO Show, already in progress.
What's that bulge in his left-hand pocket?
On OutQ.
Christmas, he has a rockin' bod. Oh my goodness, I'm looking at photos on the interweb.
Hard work.
So I know, good for him. I love, he has but then I love they stick his head on naked pictures. It's like, stop doing that. No one wants a fake nudie picture. That is just crazy talk. Anyway, do you like a fake nude, Doria? Do you like when, well, no, your girlfriend takes her pants off all the time. Mrs. Rock and Roll. You don't need fake nudies for that. She'll show you everything for $1. Your girl. You would never think to look that up, though.
No.
Have you ever once had a guest on the show that you looked up to see what they look like naked on it? Never once?
Not once. Never, not once.
Do I do that all the time?
Yes.
Yeah,
you even do it with the female guests.
Yeah, I know.
Frequently. You have sent me links.
What's that
that
about?
I won't click on.
I know. Let's talk. What's that about, Doria? I'll tell you, that's a little kooky.
You're just obsessed with nudity.
I do. I don't know why I like it so much. It's crazy, you know. I don't know why. I do. Always did too. That's what my mother used to say. You're oversexed. You know. That's what my mother used. Did your mother ever say that to you? Doria Biddle, you're oversexed.
That's not something my mother would. That's not a concept
that was what my mother would say. You are oversexed. In our house, you were oversexed. If you talked about sex at all, if you thought sex was a fun thing that people would like, you were oversexed. Because my mother thought it was degenerates did things like that. It's disgusting. So we smooched. Speaking of degenerates, we smooched in front of the Hollywood sign. So we did. We got pictures taken of me and Jim making smoochies.
Oh, I thought you meant you and your guest.
No, we have her in the middle with both of us on either side. But we have one where Jim and I are kissing, and I just saw it, and I was like, "Ew, boys kissing." I didn't see
that picture.
We didn't post it yet. It's in Erica's camera because it's in her camera. But it really was. It was like, ugh, boys kissing. It's gross. I know you just made the same face I did. It's like, ugh, gross, boys kissing. Who would do such a thing?
Hair on their face.
Anyone kissing.
Yucky.
Let's be honest. Anyone kissing. Blah. Anyone kissing. That's just yucky.
Cold in here today.
I think so. It's a little, what is it? It's going to be 62.
82 today.
Oh, good golly gosh. All right. Anyway, we're going to warm you up for the next 2 hours. Have a little fabulous baby here from Sister Act.
New year, new voices. I just got
Gotham City glamour meets Tinseltown tomfoolery.
I'm the nearest thing to a lady around here.
It's the Frank DeCARO Show, featuring Doria Biddle.
I get sick to my stomach just when you say her name.
Live from New York and Los Angeles on OutQ.
It's Frank DeCARO and Doria Biddle live in Los Angeles. Poor Gonzo's back in New York where it's snowing. If it's cold where you are, my heart goes out to you. I really do. I feel bad.
Will you stop hogging the trash receptacle?
Oh, you want some receptacle? I was making my way, while you were gone, I ate another clementine, okay?
I can tell.
But I'm making my way through the shittiest box of clementines. I love clementines. And when clementines are good, they're the best thing ever. They're easy to peel. They don't have seeds. You just eat them. They're just like, oh, I'm eating a healthy thing. They're like 33 calories, so and you would like them. It's not like 33 calories of suck. It's 33 calories of this is so good. Here, have some. You know, and you bring it, you get enough of them, you can hand them out and go, here, have a clementine. So, and you don't feel it, even if you're a skinflint like me, you can still hand them out and go, here, have one. I'll share, I swear. I'm not a skinflint, I'm just not a sharer, necessarily. I overshare information, but everything else, I'm like, that's my clementine. Don't you eat my clementine. You know, so, but clementines you can share because there's enough. But this is the shittiest box of clementines. Tell you the worst. And don't you hate that when that happens? You're the one you're like Miss Clementine fan favorite #1. You're like the Clementine proponent
of the fan club.
The Clementine fan club. When you get a shitty box of clementines, aren't you mad?
Really depressing.
Because there's now suddenly you're like, oh great, now I have 100 shitty clementines. Yay!
Well,
thanks for
really
nothing.
All crappy.
No, if you get a box, they all taste the same.
No.
There's a shitty box of clementines, and I think we got them at Target. I have to find them. And if I didn't, I apologize for besmirching you, but I think we got them at Target. Shitty box of clementines.
Why would you buy clementine? Why would you buy produce at Target?
Because you're there, and they have grocery section. The grocery section's nice.
Crazy.
Their grocery section's lovely.
It's produce. Don't buy produce at Target.
Should I get it at Whole Foods? No, they're cheap. It was cheap. You know what? Ralph's had them for $2.99. I should have bought them there. I bet you they because with produce, the cheaper they are, the better it is. You know that's the rule. Did you know that? With produce, because they have more of it. It means it's in season. When they have the cheaper, if stuff is cheap, if you go to the farmer's market, whatever's cheapest is the best stuff.
Yeah.
Because they have the most of it right then. It's the peak of the season. That's the rule. So anyway, but I'm making my way through a shitty box of clementines, and it makes me mad. So the other night, Doria and I ended up going, and this will lead into what we have to talk about this hour because we have a good thing we need your help on to chit chat about. It's gonna be group session. The other night we went to the mismatch game. Dennis Hunsley was here talking about it, and it is a spoof, a loving take on the match game that's done at the Renberg Theater here at the Lily Tomlin and Jane Wagner Lesbian Fun Fest Theater, whatever the name of it is, at the Village It's at the Gay Center here, whatever the right name
The
is.
Lesbian Fun Fest Village.
Yeah, that's the one. So anyway, it was very fun. So Match Game, they've been doing it for years. Well, this was the weekend that they were like, it could go over after 10 years of raising $100,000 for the center. And you know what? They did it this weekend. And we were sitting there while they did it. And were you laughing until you hurt? Because it was a scream.
Yeah.
It
always is.
Now,
it never, ever, ever disappoints.
Some of the funniest people in Los, just the craziest, most wonderful comedians get together and do this, and they impersonate celebrities, either living or dead.
Well, you know what I think the difference is? They don't tend to be comedians. They're actors, all of them.
Everyone.
And so they're doing characters, and they're very funny actors. But so it's not like people up there doing a bit. They really sort of embody these characters that they are playing up there. And they also happen to be gifted with improvisation, and they're very funny people. So,
and they don't take they're doing a spin on a character that may or may not have anything to do with the actual character. I'm not sure Tanya Roberts has anything to do with what Drew Droge's version of Tanya Roberts is, but it's hilarious.
Yeah.
So he was in the upper left. Then it was Sam Pancake, who looks fantastic, as Rue McClanahan. Miley Flanagan was Danny Bonaducci. Jackie Clark was Liz Taylor. I don't remember who. I can't think of the name of the guy who played Harvey Firestein.
I was like just looking for that.
And then who was in the bottom right?
Tom Lank.
Tom Lank as Zoe Deschanel, who did crafts during the entire show on stage.
His answers, because they would write the answers on a card. He does this whenever he does Zoe Deschanel. He's taken to doing these crafts because Zoe's persona is the quirky, vintagey.
She's like Miss Etsy of 2012. It's kind of like her, right? Zoe Deschanel
has her like drawing pictures and
putting googly eyes on things, those stick-on googly eyes, working with glitter.
Glue and glitter. At one point, she pulls out a sewing machine.
She pulled out a working sewing machine and embroidered a tote bag. Okay, worked on, actually sat in and made a cement plant holder. Okay, a little pot plant holder, whatever. So anyway, with quick dry cement,
and put live flowers
in. And then put live flowers in. Like did a little potting while sitting there. Okay, yeah. So it's great. You know what made me the happiest? What made me laugh the most? Jackie Clark doing Liz Taylor had me on the floor because she was going on about sort of. She wasn't saying it was the perks of being dead, but one of them was she had the iPhone 6, and she said she got it from Steve Jobs, that just struck me so funny. I was giggling about that for 2 days.
And that seemed very off the cuff,
so
too.
Funny. Yeah, she just thought of it while she was sitting there. It's all she's written for happy endings and so many other fun things. She's hilariously funny. They're all to a man, woman, child up there. They were hilarious, and they're not only just funny performers. They think really funny, and so it was really good. And Dennis Hensley is a terrific straight man. He really knows how to get the best out of his cast, and it's fun. Oh, and so it was they give away prizes and you can bid on things. They had I took Jim home. Rue McClanahan's period was one of the answers that you can buy the card. So I brought Jim Rue's period. I thought that was a little. What says I love you more than Rue McClanahan's period? So it was very fun. And they were great. And if you're ever in LA and you get to see Mismatch Game, you must go. It's really, you will laugh till you hurt. And it's I have to say it was a thrill and a delight. And then to find out that they made in the last 10 years 100 G's for the center, that's a pretty amazing thing. Dennis has really done something terrific. So they're calling it the $100,000 Mismatch Game. So the thing I don't understand, and I was saying this to Dennis the other day, and he said, "Oh, you'd have to get the rights." And why would the people who hold the rights to the match game, which is doing nothing for them, right? They've tried to get it off the ground any number of times, and it never works. You know why? Because they give it to straight people. Now, if you're straight and you're out there, forgive me for saying that. It's a gross generalization. Write something on Huffington Post and tell me I'm a horrible person. Write an editorial, say Frank's off.
Don't give him any attention.
Don't do that. Anyway, but it's like, this is not the kind of thing that you could revive and really make relevant unless you take something and do something completely cockamamie with it, which is exactly what these people have done. If you were to do this and have people impersonating celebrities, have it be on a network where you could be as dirty as, because it's, Doria, how dirty? Tell people how dirty.
Filthy.
It's filthy. Okay. Who did Sam Pancake do? Lisa Welchel?
Yes.
Because I remember Jim came home and he said the one Lisa Welchel, quote unquote, not real Lisa Welchel, but the character Lisa Welchel's answer was cum sucker. I mean, it's like, it's that level of dirty, and it's like, but it's so funny and so just hilarious and smart and everything you want it to be, that you're like, yeah, go ahead, be as filthy as possible and as mean to each other. They were picking on each other. Tanya Roberts, they were picking on Tanya a lot. They were telling Rue that she, when Rue said she still gets her period, they were going on about, oh yeah, right, and they were talking about it. They were picking on Liz Taylor for being fat. It was very funny. It was very, very, very good. And so, and Jackie Clark, God love her, is pregnant as could be. She's 8 months pregnant. So she said, I can only play Fat Liz now. And I said, well, Fat Liz is more fun than Thin Liz. So it works out nicely. But the iPhone 6, I have the iPhone 6. It made me laugh more than anything. I don't know why that was. There's something about I'm dead, so I have more things than you do. That strikes me really funny. But it was very, very groovy. So the whole gang is here, boy, Doria.
Yeah,
Everyone's
we
back.
have 2 engineers today.
This is heaven.
Normally we don't have any.
No, we sit here on our thumbs and hope that the tape holds.
I just
that Scotch tape works,
and then they start working.
You just hit it on the side, and then you move the aerial as well. Don't forget that you have to move the aerial around and make sure that signal.
And I have to stand and hold it.
I do. Well, I have to say I made a little what do you call it? The bunny ears with the foil. That worked out nicely.
That's fascinating.
I did. I tried. One of the people who was at the mismatch game the same night that we were on Friday.
This was a surprise.
I know. Eric in San Francisco.
Oh, yes, darlings. I was stalking for a new book I'm doing, Radio Celebrities of the 21st Century.
Obscurity, radio stars of the 21st century.
Did you see any?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't tell you what chapter you're in, but okay.
In the appendix. Just a little, there's an asterisk, yes.
I had never been to that show, the mismatch game, and I'd heard you talk about it so many times, and then I remembered, I think that's going on this weekend. And I was just down in L.A. visiting some friends who are moving soon, and, I was so impressed, because, I've heard you talk about it before, and I've heard Dennis talk about it on the show. It was one of the funniest things I've seen in my life. Really wonderful.
Yeah, it's almost uncomfortably funny. There's always that moment where I'm missing things because I'm still laughing so hard about something, and I have a headache and my stomach hurts, and I begin to feel physically ill because I'm laughing so hard.
And Eric, see if you agree with me. The people up there enjoy each other the way the cast of the Carol Burnett show when we were all little kids enjoyed each other.
Exactly. That's the thing that makes it so unique, I think, is that it doesn't feel like it's kind of like being clamped down and driving towards something. It just seems like a free-for-all around the idea of what they're trying to do with the game show. And just the people, like you had said, the people aren't doing exact characters. The woman who was doing Liz Taylor, you wouldn't have walked into that room and said, oh, she's Liz Taylor. But the fact of she was doing that and how she worked in Being in Heaven and Steve Jobs giving her the iPhone 6 and her hitting Zooey Deschanel glittering everything, and then she whipped out a friggin' sewing machine and was making a tote bag, and she made a planter.
When she was mixing the cement, she mixed cement on stage.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous.
And then one of them said, and you're not allowed to have a bottle of water in here. Yeah, they were really, it was very funny. They were teasing the audience, because the audience had to behave themselves, but they could, meanwhile on stage, they went nuts.
And for $15, I've paid for things way more and had a less good time than for $15. And I love the fact, too, that where they have all the cards that they write on. They let you bid on them because some of the cards were so hysterical. They went on for like 3 or 4 cards with a story that seemed like just this huge slam against the person and so hysterical. Then you could buy the card, and then that goes towards the center. And the fact they're doing it all for charity, I think, was great. And that Dennis got an award that night, and he seemed a little choked up, which I thought was wonderful, too. So it was really wonderful to see. It's a great show. And anyone who goes to L.A. has to see that, and I'm jealous that L.A. has that kind of a performance space that's connected with the gay community center, because we don't have something like that in San Francisco. I think it really drives a great amount of people there to get together and to, like, I met people online and chatted with the people around me, and I felt like I was a bit in the community there, and it really was a wonderful experience. I highly recommend it to anyone who goes to Los Angeles. And stay in Airbnb. I've got an Airbnb place down there for $100 a night, and I was able to find street parking. It was wonderful.
I love that. Look at the fun you had. Did you make Nick? Did you make Nick while you were here?
Well,
was it
yes.
Was it a Nick trip?
I made my collection of samples from the L.A. Sperm community that was, necessary on my, my government-appointed, duties. So, yes, I did what I had to do.
I feel better. Did you like the John Carrozza was dressed as Greg Evigan was his character?
Oh, yeah.
He was sort of the Carol Merrill. Greg Evigan was the Carol Merrill of it. Yeah.
He was roaming the audience in the beginning, and I just thought, I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, like the people here in L.A. wear the god-awful, like, 70s outfit, because he had, like, on this, like, purple and red and yellow shirt that was open to his navel, and I was just like, what the hell's right? And then when he said, oh, he's BJ from BJ and the Bear, I was like, oh, my God, that's so perfect. And then he had a monkey for a few minutes and threw the monkey away. It was brilliant. The whole thing was just stupendous, really great.
I'm glad you loved it. It was great seeing you. It was an extra added attraction that you were there.
Yes, it was lovely to see you too, darling.
So big honkin' smooch, and I'm glad you had some funsies.
Well, thank you
behave
for
yourself. I got to take
me.
All right, good. Well, I didn't bring the sperm samples. I behaved myself. Nick in New Jersey, you're on the Frank Show.
Hey, Frank. I wanted to let everyone know that if everybody wants to see something like the Mismatch Game, they actually do it in Philadelphia with a bunch of drag queens being outlandish. I think they usually have, I can't even think of some of the celebrities that they impersonate, but it's really funny. It's a voyeur nightclub hosted by Brittany Lynn, and it's...
Oh, Brittany's my buddy. Brittany's a scream. Yep. I love Brittany.
Yeah.
Brittany should be a Lainey Kazan impersonator. When you see, next time you look, I'm serious, Brittany Lynn looks exactly like a young Lainey Kazan. It's really true. Well, anyway, but Nick, thanks for letting us know. They've done it in New York. I've been part of the match game in New York. Did I do it here? No, I don't think I did. I played the game, but I wasn't on the panel. But in New York, I've been on the panel, and it's fun, but it's not like this. There's something they've nailed it with this one that Dennis is doing. Well, they've had 10 years to practice, but they're genius. Ray and Philly, you're on the Frank Show.
Hello, darling. How are you, Doodoo? Franklin, I originally called about clementines, because I was going to ask you if you've ever incorporated them within your salad, because the zest on the skin is good. But I remembered, though, last week, weren't you talking to Dennis Hensley about this Mismatch Game?
Yeah, he was here to promote it. Yes, we wanted to make sure that we had him up.
Is he the creator of it?
Yeah, he's the guy who's created this version of Match Game, and he's the creator and the host of this crazy version of it. And it's very fun.
I remember you talking about it, hopefully getting it on Bravo. I would love to see something like that, because there was a woman that came into the OutQ studios. I'm not sure if she did an interview with you or Derek and Romaine, but she did a spot-on impression of Madonna, just talking like in her regular voice. And
Nadia Ginsburg.
Was that her?
Nadia Ginsburg. She does the Madonna-logs. Yes, she's a scream.
Oh, my God. I could listen to her all day. It was like, that bitch is fucking mega talented, and she was spot on. I was like, that's what we need. We need entertainment like that. You know what I mean?
We need entertainment is the word. We need genuine entertainment by entertainers. That will be good. Ray, I love you to pieces, and behave yourself. No, we do. Much more than this reality crap. You need funny people doing outlandish things who, and
unless it's somebody offering
crazy,
Frank a reality series.
In which case you should watch every minute of it and join the fan club. It's true. All right, when we return to the Frank Show, I need your help at 866-305-6887. I want to know if I did a very, very bad thing.
Frank had a date for the Mismatch Game.
I had a date for the Mismatch Game. And About an hour before we were supposed to meet, he called and canceled. I'll tell you all about it when we return. I need to know if I handled it correctly or if I'm a very, very bad boy here on Sirius XM OutQ. You might think I'm the person who would be like, no, it has to be this time. I'm not. I'm just like, when is it? I'll be there. It's like, if it's fine. Maybe we'll eat first. Maybe we won't. It's not. I'm not as difficult as you would ever imagine listening to this show about getting together. I'm sort of like, it's either yes or it's no, but I'm there. And I don't leave you waiting in a public place for me. If I'm coming to your house, I might be late. But I'll definitely be late. But if it's a public place, you're not going to be sitting there waiting for me like an idiot with a newspaper and furious. I don't do that to people. But anyway, so we went. He has to, and he's always canceling and changing and doing and this and wants the only night. If you say I can do any night but Friday, he'll say I want to do Friday. It's whatever he can't have is what he likes. It's like, and if he can have it, then he takes it for granted, which is a pain. And yet, I'm very fond of him. He's smart. He sees tons of movies. I'd like to chit chat with him. Anyway, but he canceled for this about an hour before we were supposed to meet. And the reason was he got a phone call that pissed him off, and he just wanted to get in bed and weep, he said. And I just was like, oh Christ, again. I was like, and I sat there fuming. And it was, when you should write a letter and then not send it? Maybe that's what I had. I'm not sure, but I hit send. Okay, maybe hitting send was my problem. This is what I sent. I word verbatim. I said, I'm going to ask this not because I don't care, but because I do. Do you have any idea how difficult you make it to be your friend? This is what I wrote in my text to him. You inject drama into everything, and I don't have time for a constant barrage of shit. Not going because you're in a bad mood is self-indulgent. I'm not going to invite you to anything anymore because it's always difficult. And here's where I stepped in it, I think. And you're not so much fun on a date that it's worth putting up with how difficult you make getting together.
That's why you stepped over the line.
That's where I went so far. I'm sorry to be so blunt, but if we're going to be friends, and I hope we will be, you've got to work on this. I really like you, but you do bad stuff. And the only thing I got back was, okay, Frank. And that's the last things he said to me. And I apologized the next morning, and said I shouldn't have piled on you. The follow-up, I said, I'm sorry I let you have it earlier tonight. You didn't need someone piling on you today and making you feel worse. Do think about what I said, though. I want us to be pals, and I want getting together to be easy. And despite what I said, I really do enjoy your company. I've not heard from him because he always needs someone he's not speaking to, and I have now nominated myself for that role in his life. I'll be the person he's not speaking to because he's always got someone he's not talking to. So that's my thing. I think the you're not so much fun was where I stepped in shit. Okay? This is where I was like, oops, went too far. However,
because especially if that's how you feel, then why do you always make plans with him anyway?
I do like being with him,
I've been hearing complaints about this poor guy for years. And that's the thing. I mean, I think to a certain extent, you make your own bed, but you're setting yourself up again and again and again and again and again. I mean, is he the person of last resort? You've asked a million other people, and he's the only one left, and so you're like, oh, well, I'll try him.
There are times yes, and there are times no. There are times when he's fifth, and there are times when he's first. But we're all like that. We do, tell the person that they're fifth for that, or they're, some days they're first. Some days, not so much.
I tell people exactly where they rank so they know if they have to work harder or not.
See, that's the way I felt. I was like, I really didn't want to be friends. Okay, if I had sent this to you, wouldn't you have called me back and said, fuck you? It's like, how dare you send it? And you'd engage. You wouldn't not engage. You wouldn't go away.
It's hard to say because I would get so angry that I might start to respond and go, okay, that's evil. I can't write that. That's too mean. And end up not sending anything because I can't think of anything that is not completely psychopathically neutron bomby to send right back. I mean, my temper. I would have been furious.
But you and I fight, and then we go on to the next thing.
Yeah, but we haven't had a real fight.
We talk like that.
Yeah, but we've...
That's as bad as I get. That's as mean as I ever get.
Angry.
Oh, my God. Really?
Really.
You get worse than when you let me have it?
Oh, my God, yes.
Oh, Jesus. I don't want to be around for that. Oh, the ones I've seen have been... I'm scared enough.
Because I get to the point now, I mean, I know my temper, and I have a very long fuse.
Wait, when you get mad at me, the times you've been furious with me, that's bunny slope?
That's totally bunny slope.
Oh, my God!
I'm mad. That's not, I'm furious.
This was a long time coming, this text that I sent. But here's my question. Should I have...
Those long time coming things, that's what I'm talking about. When it's like, I've been putting this off and ignoring it. It just, for me, it just means the fuse is burning. And so when it blows, it's Armageddon.
This was like, I mean, I do like this person. You know, I do. And I can't quite put my finger on why, but I do like him. I find
we all have these people in our lives who we have for whatever reason, even though we have tons of complaints about them, and we tolerate certain bad behavior, and then one day, you know, we just they step over the line.
You know, it just felt like, because okay, we went to lunch together. He took me to the best corned beef in the city, right, or pastrami in the city, and we went, and it went off like clockwork. And I was shocked when I was done. I was like, who did I just have lunch with? That was the easiest, most fun. I had a grand time with him. I was as lovely could be.
Do you think that you reacted the way you did because you were in a bad mood, or just like it happened at the wrong time? Or why did you react that way when your last interaction with him had been unexpectedly pleasant?
Because that was so the aberration. And this is back to, we're still going to do this. I was so hopeful that the new relationship was going to be like the last time we went out when it was lovely, that when it fell back into, this is what it's really like, you know, it drove me insane. And it also felt like someone who should be happy that you invited them just blew you off, you know? And Jim said to me, actually, he said, well, you have a number of friends. He said, if Harry told you he's in a bad mood and didn't want to meet you, you'd have been okay with that. And I said, yeah, but Harry is someone on my list of people I would beg to go with me, because when he's there, I have such a good time with him that there's nobody else I'd rather be with.
Well, there are other people, like my dearest friend, Maura, you know, is a mother of 3. She's a married heterosexual lady in Pasadena, but she's the one I want to bring to things all the time. Because she and I have the exact same sense of humor. And I really enjoy getting her out and getting her to laugh. And so I begged her to come to Mismatch Game. And she was hemming and hawing, and those damn kids are always an issue. It's always like, I can't leave my children. Yes, you can. You can leave them. They have a father who lives under the same roof with them. It's really not that complicated.
But you will leave them in the tundra. You don't care. You're like, leave the kids in the tundra. I don't care. It's fine. Just leave them out.
If they don't return, they never really
Too
love
bad.
you.
Yeah.
But she, the morning of, she's like, I can't make it. And her excuse was that her husband had to work all weekend. He's a computer programmer. And so I was so annoyed by that, because I was like, but it happens all the time. But I don't, you know, I never go nuclear with her over that, because that is something that I expect. And so I think with the people that you expect it from, you kind of can't get angry, because you know exactly what you're getting into when you invite that person.
I know, but this is the thing.
This is who he is. It's not a shock.
It's not a shock, but you keep hoping for the best. You hope, but maybe you can't.
Silly.
That's my problem. That's my problem. But it just was like, I hate being canceled on at the absolute last minute. I really, really do. Especially when it's
inconsiderate.
It's inconsiderate, but it's also, I mean, you're more disappointed if it's like your absolute bestest friend. But it's like when someone, if them canceling on you is the aberration, I'd have been like, oh my God, do you want me to not go? Are you so miserable? I'll come over. You know, do you need me to be, I mean, with someone who isn't, it's not always drama, you take it seriously. As opposed to like, you're blowing me off because you're in a bad mood. It's like, I would have known this was coming.
But that's you trying to turn him into a different person.
And that's true. That's
exactly
probably the
who
problem.
he is.
So how should I have handled it? Just been, okay, fine? And that would have been it? Or just not invite him?
You just have to know. I mean, and, now it's too late. But
now he's not going to speak to me for a year.
But what you have to do in situations like that is, if you're not going to make it, you have to let me know sooner rather than later. And that's just the way it is.
Do you think it's fair?
No. That's who he is.
Yes.
That's who he is. He always has that reason. From what you've told me, it's always something ridiculous. And it's the same with Mara. It's always those damn kids. And there are other options. I'm not asking her to go away for a weekend. It's an evening out.
And I ended up having a great time.
And it's an early evening, too. Yeah. I mean, she'd be home by 10.
I had a half a dozen people that I knew there, you included. So it wasn't an Eric in San Francisco. And everybody, there were a lot of people there that I knew. So it wasn't that, but it just was like, I honestly, and this might be my ego here. When you were single and you were going out on a date and you weren't all that excited about it, and then they canceled on you, It's like when the ugly guy cancels on you, you'd be like, wait a minute. It's like if the gorgeous guy cancels on you, you'd be like, oh well, all right. And you could totally internalize it and feel rotten about yourself the way you're supposed to.
Because you're so desperate to go out with them that you'll give them a second, third, fourth chance.
Yeah, the fourth chance to shit in your face. Yeah, it's sort of, you'll do that because they're just sort of,
because you're that shallow.
Because you're that shallow. Or it's the gorgeous guy that you're dying to go out with. Shits on you, you just be like, but it's someone who should be like excited you ask them on a date and they shit on you, that's when it's a problem for me. Is that the most superficial and horrible way to look at it? Probably.
Yes, it really is.
Well, that's me. So superficial and horrible. Now that was really the thing. It was like, you should be glad I'm asking you to things. And it's free. It's not far for you. It's not, you don't have to drive over the hill. It's not like meet me in Pasadena and arrive on a skateboard. It's sort of like, it's just come 15 minutes from your house, get a free ticket, sit there for an hour and a half to 2 hours, and then go home. Just come and I would have really liked, it was a problem. But what do? Here's the thing though, this is my question for our listeners at 866-305-6887. Do you tell people? Do you, and perhaps not go nuclear when you do it? Or do you just blow them off and just say, you know what, I'm just not going to, do you say, I'm not going to invite you to things and tell them that in the hopes that they'll get it together? Or do you just stop inviting them to things?
You stop inviting them to things.
Why? That's terrible.
Because you know who these people are and you treat them accordingly. It's not your job to tell them these things. You can't change people. People will change according to circumstances, but they're not going to change because of something you told them.
If you care about somebody, you shouldn't tell them that they do this. If they probably have no knowledge that they're this difficult.
Well, you can say you always do this, but you're not. I mean, you didn't really do that. You got nasty, and I think that's unnecessary. But you've probably told him this before, and so has Jim. You both have told him, you can't cancel. You always cancel. You always change. Why are you doing this?
I don't know because Jim's strategy is the small portion strategy, where you're just like, you know what? This is someone you have a bite of once in a while. This is not someone you make a meal of.
I think you definitely know the category that this friend belongs in. And some people are friends, some are acquaintances, some are, good time buddies, that sort of thing.
And I guess, but it's like, I look at it and I just think it's like, you have such good potential. You're fun and you're smart, occasionally. But it's like, but you know what I mean about like, maybe it's the total superficial way of looking at it. But to me, it's like, if someone is, go ahead. You can't be nasty and ugly. Do you know what I mean? You have to. I'm not saying, and I don't mean he's ugly or nasty.
Okay,
I'm saying,
once again, people.
I'm saying you have to pick one thing. If you're cute, you can be a bitch. If you're not cute, you better be nice.
Once again, people.
If you're stupid, you can't be smug.
Before you start sending me the hate mail about how I'm calling people ugly, this is Frank, not Doria.
Yeah, send it to me. Go ahead.
God.
It's fine. Look,
Every time you say something awful, I get the hate mail.
But you know what I mean? I'm telling you, if a gorgeous guy blows you off for a date, you're just like, well, gorgeous guy blew me off for a date. Oh, great. If it's a guy that you're just like, I asked Quasimodo out on a date and he's blowing me off, that's the feeling. It's like, you're not that much fun to be going out with, that for you to blow me off is just not fair. How dare you do that? That was my gut reaction. How dare you? You are not enough fun to be this much of a pain in the ass.
I'm glad he blew you off. He shouldn't be going out with you, doing things with you if this is how you think about him.
If people are fun, they can get away with more shit. It's like when I drive Jim crazy and he looks at me and says, "It's a good thing I think you're cute." Well, he just says it's a good thing you're cute.
How dare you not spend the time, an evening with me? You're not fun. Why are you asking him to spend an evening with him
I
then?
am saying he is fun enough to spend an evening with, but he should be on good behavior. There are certain people who they're never, and the ones who should be on good behavior are never the ones who are, and the ones that you should just sit around and be like, "I'll do anything you want. You're absolutely fabulous." Those people are the ones who are nice to you. It's crazy. All right, let's take the calls. Art in Connecticut, you're on the Frank Show.
Hi, Frank. I think you're totally right. I think the guy totally dished you. What was wrong with him was he was pissed off at someone else, and he said to you, Frank, you're not important enough to cheer me up.
I call it, this is what I came up with.
No, he didn't say cheer me up.
No, he didn't. He said, I just want to go to bed and weep, and I don't want to go into it. It's like, okay, great. No, I said to him, this is called poop it forward, okay? Someone shits on you, so you shit on somebody else. That's the way I felt. It was just like, anyway, so that's the phrase I've coined. Pooping it forward. When we return, we're going to take your calls. Do not hang up. I want to talk about this more. 866-305-6887. When we return to the Frank Show, we'll chat about just this here on Sirius XM Outgood.
Who ordered the creme brulee? Now back to the high-calorie fun of the Frank DeCARO Show.
Yeah, it's Frank DeCARO and Doria Biddle. We are talking about something I did, and I want to know if I did the right thing. I went nuclear on a friend who canceled on me at the last minute because he always cancels on me at the last minute. And I told him, I said, basically, you're not enough fun to be this difficult. And that's where
I object.
That may be
It's one thing to say it's not right for you to do this. You always do this, but you should have told him that years ago.
If you were more fun, you could get away with this bullshit, but you're not. That's basically the way I felt. Trucker Sue, what's your take on the whole sitch?
Hey, Frank. I agree you went too far with the fun thing, but I believe that you have to call people out on their shit. I was actually in a therapeutic community once. It's a rehab. And somebody would point out your behavior and how it made them feel, and you had to answer, I was not aware or I am aware. And if they say, I am aware of my behavior and refuse to change it, walk away. If they know that they're being a pain in the ass and they just like being a pain in the ass, goodbye, walk away.
Yeah, I guess if you fool me twice, it's my fault, and it's been like I'm on chance 4,000. Hey, Trucker Sue, thanks a lot for your call. David in Virginia, you're on the Frank Show.
Hi, I'm going to start out by saying today is my 60th birthday.
God bless you.
Happy birthday.
Well, thanks. The older I get, the quicker it's easier to push the delete or the edit button on my friends, on people, on situations. I thought you handled it just fine. You were not nuclear enough as far as I'm concerned. I just don't have time.
Ooh, you're rough. Good for you. I know. It really is I was having the savior drama for your mama kind of thing. I just was like, and I am fond and and I'm a good friend to him. I am. But it really was like, okay,
except
now
you
you've
just
gone.
told him he's not fun, so that begs the question, why do you want to do anything with him? And you say, well, he is fun. So that was mean for you to say.
I do. Yes, I was a meanie weenie, and I was mean to Beth Simon.
You could have absolutely
said everything else
except the behavior was wrong.
Yes.
And you have every right in the world to call him on that behavior, but then you.
Hey, Jay and GA, you're on the Frank Show.
Hey, Frank. Hey, Doria.
Hey.
Hey, I agree with you. I think that you handled it right because, sometimes everybody needs a little bit of mean love. And if they're just aggravating as hell, I think you got to call them on it and then see what happens after that. Like I was telling the screener, I have a friend like that too, and it's like a pain in the ass to get together, and when you finally get together, the first 15, 20 minutes of the conversation is all his woes and worries and all that, and it's like, damn, is it really worth it being your friend?
Well, that's the question. So what makes you stay friends with him? Because maybe that's the question I need to understand. Why do you stay with this guy? Why are you still pals?
Fun. He really is fun, on occasion, but small doses. That's how I do it and stay friends. Small doses.
Yeah, that might think it's just what do they say? A small portion to be polite. AJ, thanks a lot for your advice. I appreciate it. 866-305-6887. I'm curious to know how you handle your friends who are incredibly difficult, and whether I handled it right by going nuclear on his ass. Austin in Houston, that's two Texas things in one. Austin in Houston, you're on the Frank Show.
Yes, I think just what you did it's okay, but you need to humble yourself, and there's a way to go about it. You don't know really what happened, and you're saying that ugly and nasty, but then again, we have to look ourselves in the mirror. Are we being that very good friend? Because if he just cut you off and said, hey, I don't want to talk about it, then where's the trust level as a friend? Are you not being a good friend that he could trust you and open up to you about what's going on?
Yeah, well, I don't think the problem is knowing him. I don't think what happened in the grand scheme of things was as big as I need to go to bed and weep. I need to go to bed and weep is thank heaven a lot of us are lucky enough that doesn't happen all that often. It's like you don't lose a parent or someone it wasn't a friend of mine just died. It wasn't, my dog ran out, God forbid, and got hit by a car. It wasn't that. It was I got a phone call, and it was just, quote unquote, more disappointment. That was the explanation. More disappointment. So, to me, it was just like, you know what? Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And then I don't mind if the first 10 minutes is, oh, Christ, guess what happened to me today? And then they tell you all the awful stuff that happened. I can deal with that. I like that. I play therapist for my friends and vice versa all the time. And I think that's what you're supposed to do with someone. But I don't think, you end up doing I think there are certain people who you need to know how much you can get away with is really the way I feel. And he overstepped the bounds. There's shit I can pull on my husband that I would never do to certain friends. It's like you just don't because you can't get away with it. Because you don't make up for it in other ways. And it's like if you can make up for it in other ways, you can bring all your shit,
How do you make up for it with your husband? You don't put out.
I am
you give
so
him Dutch ovens every night.
I do. Well, but that's love. I save myself for his birthday, and then I fart at him. That's love. I think. Dustin in Seattle, you're on the Frank Show.
I'm so disappointed that I just heard Doria Biddle say Dutch oven first of all. But
it was fun, wasn't it? I enjoyed that more than anything today.
When she does stuff like that, I think far more of her than. Anyways, so I agree with.
I'm bored with that. Tony in Pennsylvania, you're on the Frank DeCARO Show.
Hey, Frank, I think you did the right thing.
Do you really?
Yeah, I just think, he could have used a distraction, and it would have been a nice evening for both of you.
I know, but don't you think it's like poop it forward? I'm telling you, it's sort of like someone shits on you, so you shit on your friend. That's what it felt like.
Yeah,
it's just. Do you have friends who drive you that crazy?
Well, yeah, and you want to hear some of it, but sometimes it's good to get away. You had plans for dinner or whatever, and it would have taken his mind off his problem.
Yeah, I think, and I was willing to be there for him like that. But the other thing I don't like is I really don't like when people immediately won't engage with you. I think not fighting back or not writing back, I'm so furious with what you just wrote that it's going to take me a while before I'm able to talk to you about this. Then you don't just disappear. I think one of the reasons he's not in a relationship is because he's the kind of person who can't fight with somebody. If you write back, that's the fucking meanest thing anyone has ever said to me. You're engaging with that person.
What if he's like, you know what, I'm done with you?
Maybe he is,
and
that's okay too. But it's disappointing because to me, if you can't fight with somebody, you're never going to be in a relationship with them. If you're not going to just take the gloves off occasionally, it's not good. Mark in Alabama, you're on the Frank Show.
Hey, so a really close friend of mine who's a cancer survivor taught me a valuable lesson recently. Sometimes you just have to weed your garden. Get rid of those people in your life that are not allowing the other flowers to bloom, as it may be.
Cull the herd.
But he's sort of like the poinsettia, though, that you're sort of like, well, you were sweet at Christmas, and I like.
No, I mean, I don't understand that thinking at all either, Frank. I mean, somebody's either somebody you want in your life or you don't, I have people that I'm not going to go do one-on-one things with them because they don't interest me enough. But if we're at a gathering, I will go and speak to them for 10 minutes and then move on to the next.
Yeah, but we went to lunch together, just the two of us. We sat and gossiped about this guy he was having an affair with. We were just like, oh my God. And then, it was like two dirty girls sitting around talking about stuff. And it was and I had a really nice time. But it was such the ease with which that day happened was such an aberration.
But that's the thing. It was an aberration. You don't build a friendship on the fact that once he was really fun. One time he was really fun.
Sometimes we have a nice time together, but there are more instances of naughty. Baston in Vermont?
Bastion, yes, like Sebastian.
Bastion. Like Sebastian. Oh, hi, Bastion. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Good. What's up? Tell me about this.
So, it sounds to me, just based on my own personal experiences, it sounds like he's depressed, like legitimately, like clinically depressed. Because in my experience, when I was dealing with my depression before I got things settled down and figured out, I would do the same thing. I would, like, the littlest thing would make me go, oh God, I don't even want to handle the world today. And I would sit in the dark or read a book by myself, and I just didn't want to deal with people whatsoever. And I would cancel on events. I would cancel plans with friends because I just couldn't deal with the world. So maybe your friend needs help.
I think so, but I also think he's not willing to let me help him do that, And that kind of bums me out.
Yeah, I think he's definitely depressed. I mean, you've said that before.
Oh, yeah.
But again, that's, people have to help themselves.
Definitely. We're going to continue taking your calls, but we need to take a little break now. We'll do that when we return here on Sirius XM OutQ.
Are always correct.
Oh, good heavens, someone's caught my tinkle.
It's the backless glamour of the Frank DeCARO Show. Live from New York and Los Angeles.
Good golly gosh. Let's go right to the phone. Story, who's on line 3?
That is Trucker Bob in Ohio. Hi, Trucker Bob.
Hey, Trucker Bob. Trucker Bob. Oh, my God. He went into that ditch, Doria. I feel
Bob
terrible.
Isn't speaking to you.
I know. Another one who's not speaking to me. Sometimes you got to let him out. It's funny. People say, oh, you just sort of cut people out. My best friend, Harry. Okay, Harry and I, Harry Althouse, who's co-hosted the show any number of times, is my oldest and closest friend. And we have times where he's not speaking to me or whatever, but we come back around always. And there's time where he takes the gloves off. And I remember one time we were talking, and it was as close to my nuclear text that I sent was, I said to him one day, we were talking about stuff, and I said, I don't know about you. I said, but I would rather have fame than love, is what I said. I said I would rather be, this is before I met Jim, but I said I would rather be famous than be in love. And he said to me, he got furious, and he said, I don't believe you for 1 minute. And if you really mean that, and that's true, I don't ever want you to be my friend ever, because I don't want to be friends with someone who would say that. And it was really like, it was, if you really mean that, we're done. Sometimes you need to if you're really going to be in a friendship with someone has to call you on your shit. Sometimes they have to be like, you're an idiot, and the best argument I ever had with Jim, he looked at me and he said, when you start making sense again, I'll start listening again. And it just was like, I was, my eyes were rolling to, oh, devil.
But these are things.
People have to call you on your shit.
Yeah, but that's not what you did. You did. And then you went one step further
and got mean.
And got mean.
And then the problem with that is I undercut my entire argument.
Exactly.
I know. That's where I did the bad thing.
And you gave him an escape because you were being bitchy to him, and now that's he'll be pouty and hurt.
Which is his favorite state. By the BT depth.
Eventually, you will have to apologize. It's going to come down to.
I already did. I apologized twice.
But, well, yeah, you're going to have to keep doing it until he's going to keep milking that.
Oh, he's going to milk. Oh, he loves this part. Now he can torture me because now I know I've gone too far.
Yeah. Or you can decide, you know what I said, I meant what I said, and I'm fine.
I do agree with everything I said, but I still feel like a heel for going that extra mile.
Yeah, but if you really meant what you said, then why invite him to anything?
Well, I don't like to really hurt anybody, ever. My tongue sometimes does say awful things, but then you want to be able to make up for it. When you're really close to, when Jim and I say horrible things to each other, and then we get past it. I just hope,
and I do, and we laugh.
We laugh and laugh. Well, I hope the next hour we'll laugh and laugh here on the Frank Show. I'm not promising anything, though. But we'll try. We'll do our best. We'll get that I tried my best ribbon I always talk about. We'll do that in the next hour here on Sirius XM OutQ.
From the Swiss Embassy in New York City,
This tri-state area is filled with things I detest.
to the La Brea Star Pits in Hollywood,
I love it when dreams fail.
it's the Frank DeCARO Show, featuring Doria Biddle.
Wait, don't touch that button!
It's too late. She touched it. It's Frank DeCARO and Doria Biddle live. I love me a little Dr. Doofenshmirtz. It's Frank DeCARO and Doria Biddle live in Los Angeles. Back in New York City, Gonzo's battling the snow. Poor pumpkin lumpkin. And I hope he stays warm, and I hope the inside.
Ellis just walked in. You didn't even know.
I didn't even look out I love that boy.
I saw him wipe away a tear.
It was a Gonzo moment. That was a tattoo, wasn't a tear. Anyway, I was having a Gonzo moment though. Jason can have his moment, but that was a Gonzo moment, and I don't want to take away from it. It was Gonzo's moment. So anyway, he's back in New York, battling the snow, staying warm, sweating, and wet from the outside. Just wet. He's wet, and he's wet for you. So here on